Ladies and gentlemen, the CTDF Fantasy Football Show is on the air once again. It is December 17th, 2020, just a couple of minutes after 10 p.m. on the East Coast, a couple of minutes after 7 p.m. on the West Coast. Great to have y'all here. I'm getting in the spirit for Christmas. We only got 8 more shopping days left. So hopefully you're enjoying the Christmas season as we are. We still got some football left. We got our second round of our league playoffs coming up this week. My name's Tim McClellan. With me, as always, the main brand of sports, John Flynn. We have our very esteemed league commissioner, John Natale, and of course, our good friend down in the Alamo City, Mr. Adam Oliver. How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing good.
All right, all right. Well, we have a lot to talk about because we gotta review our first week of our playoffs. We're going to preview this week, which is week 2 of our playoffs, and of course, we have week 15 in the National Football League, including 2 Saturday afternoon games. Why? Because the basically the college football regular season is over, so the bowl games will be starting. In fact, I think the first bowl game should be starting any second now. Uh, yeah, I always think there's too many bowl games. There's just way too many. There wasn't as many when I was a kid.
Is
But
that because there are only so many TV channels you can choose from at the time?
exactly, exactly. That's true now. But anyway, let us go ahead and get started by recapping last week's first round of our league playoffs. We will start in the consolation ladder. It looks like I was able to defeat Nelson Ezra by a score of 164.4 to 148.0. Thanks to my main man, Devin Henry, got me 35.7 points. Good performance from Justin Herbert for 34 points, and the Chicago defense special teams, they were able to score 22 points for me.
Yeah, that to me was the most shocking performance because the Bears defense had been bad the last 2 weeks, but then they completely annihilated Deshaun Watson and the Texans. That was a result I did not see coming. And I didn't we all get that game wrong last week? I think so.
Last
What, the
week,
Bears you're talking about? I think I picked
Yeah,
the Bears.
it's I mean I took the Texans and I was pretty confident in that, but the Texans are gonna be the Texans.
Yeah, I picked the Bears. I checked my sheet.
yeah, I think I did too. So that was one for me. Also, in our second consolation matchup, we had Marty taking down Spencer by a score of 164.5 to 118.5. Big points from Lamar Jackson. I tell you what, 46 big fantasy points for Jackson, uh, staging that big back to back game, but he pulled off the comeback against the Browns this past week. He got a,
That was a crazy game,
yes,
especially in the fourth quarter with Lamar Jackson, his hamstring injury comes back right after the 2 minute warning. He throws that heave touchdown to Hollywood Brown, and then the Browns go all the way down the field and score a touchdown. Then the Ravens, and then Lamar takes them down the field for the winning field goal.
and then add the safety right on top of that as time expired.
I had a friend that got knocked out of his in his fantasy playoffs because of that safety at the end of the game.
Wow, unbelievable there. And also, we had Erica with a huge win over Mark. She scored 154.3. Mark only scored 88.1. So those were the matchups there. The two big matchups in the winners bracket. First, John Natale went up against Adam, and Natale took down Adam Oliver 160.6 to 154.4. Thanks to Kyler Murray, Austin Eckler, and Keenan Allen, all putting up respective points there.
And he also got touchdowns from his two running backs, both NFC West running backs, and Kenyon Drake and Chris Carson. That helped the cause, and it turned out he needed every single one of them because Kareem Hunt almost gave fantasy owners a miracle, and was this close with Kareem Hunt.
Yeah. If that game went to overtime, Adam probably would have won.
Here, Giovanni Bernard. Here's my $1 for you. You bum.
and you also didn't help that he lost a fumble, which didn't help the cause either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why Giovanni Bernard's a bum.
So I mean I was planning to start to activate Joe Mixon off injured reserve because he is in my league, but I couldn't because he was still unavailable. So that's why Bernard got the start, and that they got smacked by your Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yep. And probably, well, just like in the NFL, the first week of the playoffs usually give us some shocking moments. We had one right here. Our champion has been dethroned. That's right, dethroned by none other
Flynn.
than our man John Flynn.
But there are now only 3 people in Flynn's way.
Yep.
I beat him 3 times this season.
Wow. Twice in the regular season and 1 here in the playoffs.
And what wasn't interesting, right before the fantasy draft, Will said that I was his biggest threat, and it turns out I was the one that knocked him out.
Your biggest threat is now Cedric.
Cedric's team is a problem, and
unless I take him out. They did it once before. We'll see.
I mean, I got demolished by Cedric back in week 3 because that was was crazy. With all the catches.
Well, here's the shock. You know who one of the people who beat Cedric was? Spencer.
Oh my God, Spencer's what? With the one week Spencer actually had a good week was week 1 and against me. That was his best week of the season, and I happened to play him. So yes, I did belong in the playoffs.
Yeah, Spencer beat Will too. How's the guy? That's funny. Guy from England doesn't know much about football, and he won.
That's right. Our friend John Flynn defeated Will Medina by a score of 153.4 to 137.5. Thanks to Tom Brady scoring 31 fantasy points. Calvin Ridley with 26.4. And that got Davis with 26.2.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to start Mike Davis if Christian McCaffrey was playing, but he won't be available again this week with the game against Green Bay, so he's in my lineup again. But I also left Miles Sanders. I left him on my bench, but he scored 29 points. So that would have been nice, but it didn't wind up really mattering that much.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, let's just go ahead and take a look at this coming week, our second round of the playoffs. Starting in the consolation ladder, I am going up against Marty this week. Wow, I hear a lot of static going on. Where's it coming from?
Adam, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there's like a lot of static coming from your end there, bro. Anyway, I've got a matchup against Marty this week. I've already got 35 points for Justin Herbert. Of course, he's coming in tonight's Thursday night football game. Los Angeles Chargers against the Las Vegas Raiders. And Marty right now has 5.6 points. He's got 1 player in the game that's playing right now. Also, we got Erica going up with Mills right now. Erica has one player in, 5 points so far. Nels doesn't have anybody just yet. Nels is actually projected to go 153.8. Erica is projected to go 119.3. And got Mark going up against Spencer. Very close projections here, 123 for Spencer and 120 for Mark. Yeah, that happens. In the winners consolation ladder, we got Adam going up against Will. Will right now has 27.3 points already. Adam's yet to score. Will's projected at 170.6, and Adam is projected at 141.9.
Yeah, and the 27.3, because he has Josh Jacobs and Hunter Henry going, and they both have scored touchdowns.
Very well, very well. And now, the winners bracket, this is where our top two seeds are going to be seeing action for the first time in the playoffs. Natalie is going up against Cedric Weatherspoon Jr., our overall top seed in his first year in our league. Right now, Natalie has 5.9 points. He's got Austin Eckler playing, and Cedric doesn't have any points yet. Right now, the projection is 166.7 for Cedric, and Natalie is projected at 149.4.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't help for Natalie that Austin Eckler isn't putting up big numbers right now.
Yeah. At least I benched Keenan Allen, so far that could be promising.
Yeah, and he also has and Cedric has Kamara going. He's got Devontae Adams going. That's a good matchup against Carolina's defense. Yeah, he's got the Colts defense going up against the Texans, and I'm curious about that. He's got Hawkinson, Blankenship is his kicker. But he has the deepest team, and he's scored the most points during the regular season of any of the 12 teams in our league. So that's
another point. Eckler just got a catch, so we'll see. I picked up another point just now.
Oh yeah, I just saw that too. And then Natalie, he has a lot of NFC West represented in his lineup, right? Is that right, Natalie?
I believe so.
Yeah, because you have Carson, you have Drake, you have Kyler Murray going up against the Eagles, which that's going to be an interesting how he goes against the suddenly rejuvenated Eagles defense.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he brings a whole new meaning to West Coast offense, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Drake was able to pick them up one time.
Right.
Yeah, before we went on, Callie was talking about how Robert Tonyan has been tremendous for him over the last couple of weeks. Is that right?
Yep.
Very good, very good. And of course, in the other big matchup, we got our man Flynn here going up against our number 2 overall seed, Andrew St. Clair. Right now, Flynn has 17.9 points. And Adam doesn't have anybody playing right now tonight. Flynn's projected at 170.9, and Andrew is at 158.7.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, people, we are going to have a new champ. Our 2-time champ has been denied a 3-peat by our man Flynn. So, who knows what's going to happen for the rest of the way. That's one thing I can guarantee. It's going to be very, very interesting for the rest of the way. So, with that being said, let us go now to Week 15 in the National Football League. And as was stated, there is a game going on right now. Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. They're in action right now, about a little over 2 minutes in the third quarter, and both teams are tied at 17 apiece. Right now, Chargers have the ball inside the Vegas red zone. So we'll just see what happens there. By the way, just for our regular purposes, I actually predicted the Raiders to win this one by a score of 27-17.
Yeah, I took the Raiders by a touchdown, 31-24. That was my predicted score.
Yeah, I had Raiders 24-21.
And I got the Raiders also.
All right, so I guess we all picked the Raiders at home. Of course, it's like a penalty has just moved the Chargers up to the 1 yard line.
This could be an extra touchdown, possibly 1 yard line. Let's see.
Yeah, Eckler was not on the field for that snap. It was Kalen Ballage was on the field for that one.
I don't know if he's on the field right now yet. Maybe not.
And of course, we will keep y'all. We'll keep you updated as the game goes on. But right now, we got 2 Saturday games to talk about. The first one, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be the Buffalo Bills taking on the Denver Broncos. Games in Denver. And as we get started with this thing here, Flynn, the Bills are picked by 6.
Yeah, because the Bills had that primetime moment that fans have been waiting to show to the NFL that they are a team that can viably challenge Kansas City in the AFC playoffs, and the Bills were tremendous. The pick 6 by Taron Johnson late in the first quarter changed everything. In that game, they gave the Bills momentum. They got the ball to start the second half. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs connected down the field, and the game was out of reach by then. So I'm going to take the Bills to win this game. I think a win will actually lock up the AFC East for Buffalo. I think they'll beat Denver 31-21.
Very nice, very nice. And Tally, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, this is pretty much a game that could possibly seal the division for the Bills. Like, they're super close. The Broncos don't really have much going right now, so I'm going to take the Bills 30-20.
Sounds good. Adam, who you got?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be the Bills game to win, so I'm gonna have to take the Bills.
And I will make it unanimous among us. I say the Bills will win by a score of 28-20. So I guess if I'm not mistaken, Bills victory does give them the division. Anyway, we're now going to go to the night game for Saturday night, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. The Carolina Panthers against the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field, where I don't think the Tundra is going to be that frozen, if it's frozen at all. But the Packers are picked by 9 in this one. So, Flynn, how do you see this?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a closer game than people anticipate, because I've been leaning towards Carolina in the spreads all year, but I'm just interested in seeing how Green Bay plays against a team that they should absolutely beat. But the last time the two teams played, the Panthers were in Green Bay. They were at the 2-yard line, but then the Packers defense stopped them. So, but the Packers have been more aggressive, and I'll take the Packers to take down Carolina 28-21.
Natalie.
Yeah, this game is pretty crucial if they want to stay at the number 1 seed. But DJ Moore is expected to come back for the Panthers. He's going to step up, but it's not going to be enough. Give me the Packers 28-24.
Kind of pretty close right there. Adam, what do you say?
I'm gonna predict that the Green Bay Packers will beat the Carolina Panthers.
All right, so and I'm gonna go unanimous on this one. I think I actually think the Packers going to do a little more than just beat the Panthers. They're going to pretty much dominate. I can see the Packers winning this one by a score of 35-13.
Ooh.
Then we go to our Sunday game. First one I see here is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to Atlanta to take on the Falcons, and the Buccaneers are picked by 5.5.
Yeah, this is a game that I think Tampa should win, but I think the Falcons are going to keep it close. I guess Raheem Morris is definitely coaching for his interim check to be taken off as the head coach of the Falcons. But I was a little disappointed a little bit in Tampa last week. I thought they'd be more clean, and that they'd be much better than that score indicated last week against Minnesota. So I'm gonna take the Buccaneers to win the game, 28-24. So I'll take the points with Atlanta.
All righty, Sally.
Yeah, this one is almost a no-brainer. The Bucks look really good right now. The Falcons are pretty bad. I believe they just got eliminated, if I remember correctly. So they really have nothing to play for at this point. They pretty much just have their pride. It's going to be almost a blowout. Give me the Bucks 31-17.
All right, Adam, what do you got to say on this?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, there he goes again. I can't hear you, Adam.
Yeah.
Over here.
All right.
There
I
we
just
go.
had to throw my earbuds. So anyway, I'm gonna have to give it to the Buccaneers because they're too good. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Brady Butt Pirates.
Yeah, go with Brady and the Bucks. That's what I'm doing. I see a good victory here. I see 27-14 Tampa Bay over Atlanta. I think Atlanta's got a lot of more work to do between now and next season. So now we have a matchup in the NFC North Division. We got the Chicago Bears taking on the Minnesota Vikings. They're playing in Minnesota, and the Vikings are picked by 3.5, Lynn.
Yeah, this game was the toughest game of the week for me to pick because if you look at how the two teams are playing, they're going completely opposite directions. That the Bears offense has suddenly been rejuvenated with the return of Mitchell Trubisky. That's been a huge surprise. But meanwhile, the Vikings, there was no secret in the Vikings not playing well. After Alvin Cook scored a touchdown to start the scoring in that game, that their offense disappeared the rest of the game. They've been too inconsistent all season. Their defense gives up way too many big plays, and Mitch Trubisky over Kirk Cousins, yeah, upset special. I'm going to take the Bears to win this game by a goal and an upset.
Oh, Flynn is pulling the trigger. The Chally, have you got the guts?
Yeah, this game was actually a really close one for me. This one could really go either way since the Bears still have a fighting chance. Their defense is getting by. And although they have some pieces here and there, the Vikings receivers are definitely due for a bounce back. Adam Thielen had a very horrible game last week, and he definitely wants to change that. I see him getting a couple touchdowns. It's going to be a close one, but give me the Vikings by a score of 31-29.
Ooh, close finish there. Adam, what you got?
Well, I know that the Bears defense had had a pretty good night, but I think they're gonna be a little short, so I'm gonna have to go with the Vikings.
And I too will take the Vikings. I think the Vikings will win by a touchdown. I got Minnesota winning by a score of 28-21. But watch that Bears defense. They've been improving here a little bit from time to time, so I'll keep an eye on them. Next game coming up, San Francisco 49ers against the Dallas Cowboys, which was originally supposed to be this week's Sunday night contest, but it has been flexed up to 1 p.m. We'll talk about the new Sunday night contest later on. But right now, playing at AT&T Stadium, the Niners are picked by 3. So, Flynn, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, I'm going to lay the 3-point tier with San Francisco. That if you watch the San Francisco Washington game, that the 49ers don't lose that game if Washington doesn't have those big defensive players from guys like Chase Young. But you got to give Ron Rivera and Washington credit for that. But I mean, you really think that you're going to go from playing against a team coached by Zach Taylor to a team coached by Kyle Shanahan and expect the same results? I didn't think so. I'll take the Niners to beat the Cowboys 17-10.
Natalie, what do you say?
Yeah, this one was actually a pretty close one. Both teams still have a fighting chance to make the playoffs. I mean, even Dallas actually has a chance. They could still win the division. I mean, the schedule is kind of in Dallas's favor in a way. But 49ers do have a little something going. There is a very slim chance that George Kittle could come back. But even if he does, he'll be extremely limited, which isn't going to help them at all. But right now, I think the Cowboys offense looks slightly better right now. It's going to be a pretty low-scoring game. Give me Dallas 20-16.
All right. All right, Adam. Where are the Cowboy fans in this group here? So, what do you got?
So, yeah, I think the 49ers, they don't quite have all the personnel at full strength. With that being said, I'm thinking that the Cowboys will win back to back.
You guys might find this a little bit shocking, but I found this game to be the hardest one to pick. I mean, even though the Cowboys had that big victory against the Bengals last week, yeah, everybody said the Bengals were a bad team. Hey, there have been a couple of bad teams on the schedule that beat the Cowboys this year. And I'm kind of seeing that here. I hope I'm wrong in this one. This was a coin flip game. I literally flipped a coin, and it came up in the favor of the 49ers. So my pick is 49ers 24, Cowboys 21, but I hope to God it doesn't actually happen.
So we're pretty split on this game.
Yeah, bottom tier has Cowboys, top tier has 49ers.
Anyway, we go now to go down to Nashville. Detroit Lions against Tennessee Titans. It's questionable as if Matthew Stafford will start or not. I think what I read was if Stafford starts, then the Titans are picked by 2. If Stafford does not start, the Titans are picked by 10. But come on, Flynn. Does it matter if Matthew Stafford starts or not?
I mean, it doesn't. But even if Stafford doesn't start, I still don't think Tennessee will cover a 10.5 point spread because I think the way that the Lions have been playing the last 2 weeks, yeah, they had a close contest with division rivals, but I think I could see the Lions covering the spread here. I think Tennessee's defense I think that their play has been overshadowed by the great play of the offense with Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, and company. This defense has shown that they can allow teams to move the ball up and down the field and that. I really think they could have used someone like Logan Ryan, who in free agency. He's now with the Giants, and he's playing well for the Giants. But I think this is going to be a high scoring game. I think both teams are going to move the ball up and down the field. So give me the Titans in this game, 34-27.
All right, Natalie, what do you say, sir?
Yeah, pretty much the status of Matthew Stafford has really no bearing on my selection. I mean, Lions don't really have much going for them right now. They have their offense really isn't that bad, but it's their defense that's lacking. They don't really have any big names that make you scream. They have a chance to win this game. The Titans team is far superior. So give me the Titans in this one, 34. I'm going to do the 34 also, but I'm going to give the Lions less points, 18.
Uh-huh. All right, Adam.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters that whether Stafford plays or not. But either way, I have a feeling that the Titans will win.
And I'm going with the Titans as well. I got them winning by a score of 27-16. I will put the Titans a little bit further into the contest. It looks like it's head to head, neck and neck between Tennessee and Indianapolis for the AFC South. Speaking of the Colts, and speaking of the AFC South, the other two teams in that division play each other. The Houston Texans are in Indianapolis to go up against the Colts, and the Colts are picked by 7.5. So, Flynn, what do you think?
Yeah, this is actually a tricky game to pick, but I'm gonna take the Colts to win this game by a field goal. I think both teams. I don't trust the big line in the divisional game when the quarterbacks of Phil Rivers and Deshaun Watson. So I'm going to take the Colts because the way they played against the Raiders and they took it to the next level. Jonathan Taylor ran for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns against that porous Raiders rush defense. That and Phil Rivers had the pass game going on. He was tremendous, going up against his former division rival. And I think I'm not sure if anybody wants to face this Indianapolis Colts in playoff time. Do you? Because the Colts are playing a tremendous brand of football under Frank Reich. Wow. So I'm going to take the Colts to win by a field goal.
Colts by a field goal, says Flynn, and Natalie says.
Yeah, this one is going to be a pretty close one. Despite the Texans being eliminated from the playoffs, Deshaun Watson's still going to play hard. He's still going to show that he's a tough quarterback. But because the Colts have more to play for than the Titans – more than the Texans, rather – I'm going to do the field goal as well. Give me the Colts 35-32.
All right, then, Adam.
Yeah, it's going to be a back and forth game. Deshaun Watson and Phillip Rivers are good, but I've got to give the veteran Phillip Rivers the edge and say that the Colts will win.
Yep, I'm going with the Colts as well. I say Texas will make it a little bit interesting, but I got the Colts winning 30-20. So that race between the Colts and the Titans in the AFC South is going to be one to. I think they'll probably go down to the very final week of the season. It most likely could. Anyway, let's go down south to Miami. The Dolphins are playing host to the New England Patriots. And the Dolphins are picked by 2.5, Lynn.
When you look at the lines against the spread, this one was the easiest game to pick this week. I mean, the Patriots, their roster is terrible, and the Dolphins are just coming off the game where they got 3 interceptions on Patrick Mahomes, and A lot of that Kansas City Miami game was all about Kansas City and what they can do even on their least efficient offensive outing of the season. That still put up 31 offensive points. That they added 2 on a safety, but I think this is going to be going to be an ugly game for Belichick's defense to watch. I think that this game has 27-13 written all over. Give me the Dolphins to roll over New England.
All righty then, Natalie. What do you got?
Yeah, I think this game is going to be a lot closer than people think. Because this game probably essentially determines who seals second place in the division. As we all know, the Bills have it at this point.
Yeah.
The Dolphins are going to have a little bit of a challenge, though, because their tight end, Mike Gesicki, he's going to be out. I think Myles Gaston, I think he's still dealing with COVID, so he might still be out. However, their defense is what's going to keep them together. But because the Dolphins' defense is better than New England's, they're going to win this game, 27-21.
All right, 27-21. Adam, who do you got in this one?
Well, it's gonna be pretty close game, but I think in the end I've got to give Tua the edge and have make the Dolphins victorious.
Well, I'd say the Patriots are going to make a game out of it, but it's just going to be just a little too much of the Dolphins for them to handle. I've got the Dolphins winning this one 27-24. And we're now going to go to Washington. We got the Seattle Seahawks against the Washington football team. The Seahawks are picked by 5.5. Flynn, this sounds like a very interesting matchup here.
It certainly sounds interesting, and it's going to be closer than people think. And obviously, Seattle they blew out the Jets last week, but the loss 2 weeks before against the Giants showed that Seattle is a flawed team, especially when you look at when you look at both sides of the ball. When you look at their defense, when you look at their front four, I think those are areas of deficiency that Washington can mask, and I'm very concerned about Seattle's offensive line going up against Washington's defense. But I think it's going to be a close game, and I think it's going to be Russell Wilson that'll make the big plays at the end against or rather than Alex Smith. So give me Seattle to win 20-17 over Washington.
Interesting there, Natalie.
Yeah, this one was pretty interesting. I mean, call me crazy, but for some reason, I don't know why, I'm just not sold on Washington yet. I mean, even though it's late in the season, I think they actually could fall apart. Although I think their last 2 games are fairly easy opponents, I still think they're vulnerable. It's going to be interesting to see if the Washington offense stands up to Seattle's defense with Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright, and Jamal Adams. They have an excellent group of people there, which I think is going to hold Washington's offense to a fair amount of points. Not a lot. They'll get some touchdowns here and there, but Seattle's offense is far better. So give me Seattle 30-20.
All right, Adam.
Yeah, I think it might be a little interesting, but I think Seattle's going to be a little too much. So I'm going to have to go with those Seattle Buzzards.
Yeah, pretty much based on everything Flynn and Natalia said, I'm pretty much going with the Seahawks on this one. Even though I believe that the Washington Generics, or the Washington No Names, whatever you want to call them, I believe that they will stay in this game until very late. I got the Buzzards against the Generics. I got the Buzzards winning this one by a score of 35-33. Although I still think that Alex Smith will win Comeback Player of the Year.
Oh, no question he's the Comeback Player of the Year, especially if Washington wins the division.
Now we have this is one of our 2 no-brainer games of the week.
Mm-hmm.
The Jacksonville Jaguars against the Baltimore Ravens. playing in Baltimore, and the Ravens are picked by a huge 12.5 points. Win.
As a getting to the spread, this was actually a tricky matchup because obviously Baltimore on a short week coming off an emotional win against a division rival to put yourself back in the playoff race. But Baltimore's victory, I think Baltimore preseason to go to the Super Bowl in the AFC, but that game directs the entire playoff picture when it comes to the AFC. Now you have to contend with Baltimore as well, with Miami, Indianapolis, Cleveland, all those teams ahead of them. But Gardner Minshew is starting for the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday against Baltimore, and he is the best quarterback on the roster, and he's going to keep this game close. I think the Jaguars are going to cover the 12.5 point spread against them, but I'm going to take the Ravens to win this game 31-21.
All right. Natalia, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, this game is essentially a no-brainer. Somehow, Jacksonville could still possibly get the number 1 draft pick. And should the Jets and Jaguars both get one win, it's going to be interesting to see who owns the tiebreaker. But
yeah, so we have a scoring update. The Raiders just scored a touchdown with 6:16 left and an extra point pending. It'll be 24-24.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota rushing touchdown. But anyway, for this game, this is going to be my lock of the week. Give me the Ravens 27-10.
All right, Adam.
Oh yeah, I think the Ravens is just going to be too much for the Jaguars. I think the Ravens are going to easily roll over them, so I'm going to have to take the Ravens.
And I'm going to take the Ravens too. I got the Ravens winning by a score of 42-10. So, but it's just going to be interesting to see how Lamar Jackson's leg holds up after this past Monday night. Like I said, like we all said, craziest Monday night game, one of the craziest endings. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And now we go from one no-brainer game to another. We got those New York Jets going up against the Los Angeles Rams. And the Rams are picked 17.
Yeah, and I think the Rams are going to win by more than that. I mean, there are arguments to be made about it's guys, because there's the NFC is wide open, but there are arguments definitely to be made about the Rams being the best team in the NFC, the most well-rounded team in the NFC. It's going to be tricky for the Rams to get that 1 seed. With Green Bay ahead of the 1 seed, we all expect Green Bay to win. So the Rams would have to go to Green Bay potentially to go to the Super Bowl. But the Rams showed everybody last week that they are a superior talent. Aaron Donald is in the discussion for Defensive Player of the Year, and the Jets. Well, Adam Gase is still employed by the Jets. Adam Gase, I forgot to mention this last week. Adam Gase lasted longer than Greg Williams with the Jets, and that's such a joke and how the franchise is done. But the tank for Trevor continues, and I'll take the Rams to win 30-10.
All righty, Natalie.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Jets' remaining schedule here. I mean, they only have 3 chances left to crack 1 win. I mean, their other 2 opponents after this are the Browns and the Patriots.
Good
I mean,
luck.
the Patriots is a possibility, but probably not the Browns. So,
Yeah.
I honestly, I think they might beat the Patriots in their last game of the season, but
Belichick might tank that game so the Jets don't get Trevor Lawrence.
yeah.
Wouldn't that be something? If all this talk about Trevor and the Jets falls apart because the Jets won a football game.
Yeah, but if both Jaguars and the Jets finish 1-15, we have to find out who's statistically worse. That's the thing. But let's see. As far as like this game goes, yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much implied who I'm picking already. Give me the Rams, 27-12.
All right, Adam.
Well, only just got. I'm just gonna put it out right here and see what the Jets are doing. Let me just put it clear. And right here, this is what the Jets are doing.
I think he's typing up something right here.
Here, that is what the Jets are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Thanking for Trevor.
So yeah, I think the Rams are gonna.
Some
The
yardage
Rams are,
tally from Eckler.
well, the Rams are just gonna make a stampede and just turn the Jets into dive bombers, and I'll put that as my lock of the week.
All right, if they thank him for Trevor, I think they may be. Although, if you ask me, I would ask Trevor to stay at Clemson for at least one more year.
For his sake, he should.
Yeah. Anyway, of course, I got the Rams winning this one. I got them winning convincingly, 48-10. Now we have a matchup of some birds here. We got those Philadelphia Chickens. They're heading into Arizona to take on them Cardinals. And I don't think I saw a line on this one.
Yeah, Arizona is favored by 6.5.
Okay, Arizona by 6.5. I'll make a note of that, and you go ahead, Flynn.
Yeah, I'm going to take I'm going to roll with the Cardinals to win the game, but Jalen Hurts has outplayed Carson Wentz throughout this entire season, and I had a Hooked on Sports poll before I recorded my podcast last week about should the Eagles bench Carson Wentz, and 83% of the people said the Eagles should bench Carson Wentz. So. But the Eagles made the right decision there. But will it translate into a division crown? We'll have to see if it actually does. But anyway, I think Arizona wins the game 23-20. It's going to be the Eagles points.
All right. Flynn's going with the Eagles. Natalie, who do you got?
The Cardinals to win the game.
Oh yeah, Cardinals. Cardinals to win the game, but the Eagles to win the spread. Natalie.
I think Natalie might have.
Oh, Natalie must have some audio problems now. Uh-oh. Tell you what, while Natalia works on his audio, Adam, let me get your pick.
Well, it is gonna be kind of interesting to watch, but I think in the end, I'm gonna have to go with the Cardinals.
Okay. Natalia, you got your audio fixed, bro?
Oh, he's coming to his phone.
Yeah, resetting and coming back in. I want to kind of wait for Natalia to get back here because I want him to hear what I gotta say about this one.
Yes, so 46-yard field goal that the Chargers just attempted has been blocked. So the Raiders are going to get the ball at their own 36-yard line with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left. So that's going to be
Okay, yeah, I switched to my mobile.
All right, Natalie, you got the chickens and the canaries, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, which? Oh, we're still on the Cardinals and the Eagles. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I was trying to say earlier, like the Eagles are dealing with a weird problem. Like they're kind of making history in a bad way now. They have essentially the highest paid backup quarterback.
And you can't trade him.
Yeah, all that money went to waste. So they should probably like clean house and try to sell him if possible to recoup some money. But oddly enough, the Cardinals are dealing with some problems too. Kyler Murray has apparently crashed to earth. I don't know what's wrong with him. He's stepping up a little bit, but he's not the same Kyler Murray that we had in the beginning of the season. But I think he might be coming back a little bit because the Eagles are going to make this a lot closer than people think, just based on Murray's struggles alone. So but despite that, give me the Cardinals 28-24.
Cardinals winning 28-24 according to Tally. I asked Adam before he got back in. He's going with the Cardinals. It seems like Kyler Murray has crashed down to earth a little bit. Not too much, but I was so impressed. I mean, those chickens should have started Jalen Hurts at the very beginning of the season. Carson Wentz is just getting treated like a dog. I think he should demand a trade from Philadelphia. I mean, first start for the season, 124 rushing yards. Are you kidding me? I mean, this kid is amazing. And it is for that reason that I'm pulling the trigger. Upset special.
Whoa.
Yes, upset special. Chickens 30, Cardinals 24. Upset special. Jalen Hurts does it again.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And now we go to I think this.
There's only one 425 game, and that's the CBS game called by Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, and Tracy Wolfson. This next game you're going to tell us is going to be a big one.
Yeah, it seems like going to be bad. It's the Kansas City Chiefs heading to New Orleans to take on the Saints, and the Chiefs are picked out 3.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Kansas City here. I like Kansas City. I think I think the Saints lost to Philadelphia last week showed a lot of weaknesses in New Orleans' offense with Taysom Hill as the quarterback. But they're not able to move the ball up and down the field quickly with Taysom Hill. And the Eagles had a game plan with Jim Schwartz started up a good defensive game plan of rushing the quarterback, and I think that's what Steve Spagnuolo is going to do the same thing. When his Chiefs go down to New Orleans, so I expect Kansas City to win. I think they'll continue marching their way toward the 1 seed in the AFC. I'll take the Chiefs to win 30-20.
All right, then, Natalie.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very offensive game. There's actually going to be a lot of points here, back and forth. I think both defenses are going to struggle. Both quarterbacks are going to have a field day. This might be a very crazy, very bizarre score, but give me a bloodbath here. Give me the Saints 43-38.
Ooh, going with the Saints on this one. So, Adam, what do you see here?
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty close match, back and forth, possibly high-scoring game. But I've got to give the champ the edge. I've got to go with Kansas City.
And I too will go with Kansas City, even though I believe the Saints are going to make a game out of it. But in the end, I see too much Patrick Mahomes, too much Kelsey, too much Tyreek Hill, too much Sammy Watkins, and all those other guys. And of course, Travis Kelsey, who right now is probably the best tight end in the league. I'm going with the Chiefs to win this one by a score of 35-30. Now we got the Sunday night game. Sunday night game, which was flexed into the Sunday night from the Sunday afternoon. This is the Cleveland Browns going against the New York Giants. I don't think I saw a spread for this one here.
I think Cleveland is now favored by 4.5.
Okay, Cleveland now favored by 4.5. All right, Glenn, go ahead.
Yeah, and this is going to be a game where Daniel Jones isn't going to play because of his hamstring. But I think in this game I'm going to go with the Browns here. That they've been playing so well the last 2 weeks, especially offensively. So this breaks my heart, but to know who's called Jason Garrett tested positive for COVID-19 today. So to know who's calling the plays against the Browns.
Yep.
Do you know Tim? Do you know Adam?
So
His initials are FK. That's a clue.
What's that?
Initials are FK.
Oh, Freddie Kitchens? No.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh no!
Cleveland Browns. You got him.
I thought after last year I heard the last of Freddie Kitchens.
But I mean to be fair, Freddie Kitchens what was a good play caller in 2018. That was the reason he was named the head coach in the first place. But it was clear that Kitchens is far better as an offensive coordinator or an assistant coach rather than the head coach. So Colt McCoy is going to start for Cleveland. So give me the give me the Browns to win. I think the offensive line is going to shred the Giants defense. I think they'll win this game 20-13.
Who do you got?
Yeah, this one's going to be a close one. I mean, the Browns really surprised me this year. The way it looks right now, it doesn't look too good for the Giants as Daniel Jones is likely out. However, I mean, Colt McCoy, last time he stepped in, he did pretty well. If he plays, he's going to make a game out of it. Although he's undefeated as a Giant, I think this is where his streak ends. He's going to get his first loss as a Giant, and it's going to be just a 1-point game, 21-20.
Oh, very, very close there. Adam, what do you see in this one?
Well, it would be a little interesting with former Longhorn standout Colt McCoy. And yep, but I'm afraid that it would be Colt McCoy's first loss as a New York Giants player, so I'm gonna have to take the dog pound to win it.
And I will too, even though the Giants are going to make it very interesting. Giants can make a game out of it, but in the end, just got to go with the better team. That's the Browns. And I got the Browns winning by a score of 34-23. 34-23. Give me the Browns over the Giants. And now the Monday Night Football game on ESPN. A division championship is at stake here. Two teams, Pittsburgh Steelers, they're heading into Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. And the Steelers are picked by 12 in this one. So, Flynn, I think I smell a division championship for the Steelers in this one.
Yeah, I don't see how Pittsburgh loses again after losing to Buffalo. But there's a thing you really need to look out for. How are they going to fare against a team like the Indianapolis Colts or the Cleveland Browns, two teams that are after Cincinnati on Pittsburgh's schedule? I don't know if Pittsburgh can beat Indianapolis in the playoffs, and the Steelers. Do you really think the Steelers could have used someone like Jonathan Taylor last week? Because the Steelers' rushing attack what was dreadful on Sunday night. That they only got like 2.5 yards to carry, and they just couldn't get out of their own way. So I'm going to take the Steelers to take down Brandon Allen and the Bengals. They'll win this game. My score for this game was 27-10.
Okay, Natalie, who do you got?
Yeah. Although the Steelers' offense has struggled lately, especially James Conner and Chase Claypool, their defense more than makes up for it. Especially a team against the Bengals, they don't really have that much of an offense. So I'm expecting the Steelers' defense to do what they do, continue to defend like they normally do, and although their offense might not be as good now, it's still better than the Bengals offense, which is why they're going to win this game, bounce back from their 2-game losing streak, and take back the number 1 seed. So give me the Steelers 27-23.
Okay, Adam, who do you got?
I'm kind of a little bit surprised with this. With that, I think I have a feeling that the Steelers are gonna roll over those Tigers. With that being said, I'm gonna have to go with the Steelers, and they'll become the division champs.
Yep, that's what I see in this one. I see division championship for the Steelers. I got them winning convincingly over those Bengals by a score of 42-17. So a very interesting matchup, and very interesting games right here. Flynn has somehow disconnected.
Yeah, I think his camera froze.
Oh, the camera froze. Yeah, let me go ahead and bring him back in. That's pretty much the schedule for week 15, and that's pretty much going to do it for our show. I believe we are in the 2-minute warning in Las Vegas right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me call up that.
Yeah, just a little bit under 2 minutes. I think it's like 1:44.
Yeah, and Mariota got picked right before the 2-minute warning. The Raiders were inside field goal range, and Mariota decided to throw it, but he was picked off.
Marcus Mariota, the former first-round draft pick by the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah,
Yep, he's over to
this matchup, Tim. Justin Herbert and Marcus Mariota, both Oregon Ducks.
Oh, well, shucky ducky quack quack.
Yeah, and next week it could potentially be Tua against Mariota, both from Hawaii.
Wow.
he's the backup for Carr.
Right. Right,
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
And one guy I've not actually seen play on the field for the Raiders, even though he is a member of the Raiders, is of course the future Hall of Famer Jason Witten.
Oh, yeah.
I think he may retire again after this year.
Yeah, but there's a big field goal coming up.
Oh, 51-yard attempt with
it is a
58
close
seconds
one.
left. Oh, we got a timeout. Oh, this is during practice.
Look, the Chargers timeout for the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was last week. We'll just leave it here for now and we'll just see what happens here. The Chargers going for a field goal attempt. There's 58 seconds left. Score is tied at 24 apiece at Sin City.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see what happens. 51 yards. Take a little bit of that dark chocolate here.
Yeah, if they make this, the Raiders are in trouble. They have no timeouts.
No, go! Oh my goodness! Again.
Oh.
One left again.
Could we be going to overtime here?
Yeah.
Missed field goal by Patrick in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, Raiders have no timeout, so we'll have to see what happens with that.
Who
We'll just see what happens. But we gotta get out of here. Time is up.
Anthony Lynn's gonna be fired if the Chargers don't win. Should be fired if the Chargers don't win. The Chargers are one of the worst coached teams in the entire league.
Yeah.
It could happen. It could happen. Anyway,
oh
next
bad,
week. Next week.
badly missed it?
Yes.
Or I think he behind the mask. It might be Cody Parkey behind the mask.
Next week is, of course, Christmas week. So we need to have a little discussion off camera about when we should do next week's show. Of course, next Thursday being Christmas Eve. I do another show on Wednesday nights. So we'll just discuss this off camera sometime. But anyway, that's going to do it for our show this week. John Flynn, y'all be sure to listen to him. Hooked on Sports, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts. Look up Hook on Sports. And of course, John Natale, our commissioner, my buddy Adam Oliver in San Antonio. Guys, thanks for a great show.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And yeah, we are going to have a new league champ. Who is it going to be? Only time will tell. So until next time, for John Flynn, John Natale, Adam Oliver, my name's Tim McClellan. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, everyone. See you next week. As always, be a good sport. See ya.